So I thought I would look for specific books that are kind of more Halloweenish, spooky, maybe like gothic romance, that type of thing. So I ended up finding some books that are all pretty much historicals. That's the kind of theme I was going with. I was looking at other Halloween spooky type of books that are like more contemporary or paranormal. Wasn't really finding a lot that sounded interesting to me, so I thought I would go down the path of like historical romance. So I ended up finding, I think, eight books that sounded interesting. A lot of them are kind of like novellas. So the first one I found was Elisa Braden. So this one's The Secrets of a Moonlit Night. I think this was all part of a anthology, but they separated all the books. Instead of, if you didn't want to get the anthology, you can just get the individual stories. So this one here looked kind of gothic looking. I just liked the cover. So this one here says a governess, I never know how to say that right, with a swindler's past. So it says sinister rumors of a mysterious figure known as the half-faced man swirl around the ruins of Northcliffe Abbey, but governess Elizabeth Nightingale knows claptrap when she peddles it. So when the real half-faced man comes to her door demanding she keep her 3 young charges away from his property, Elizabeth isn't frightened by his scars. She's frightened by how easily he sees through her disguise to the woman beneath. Renovating an ancient abbey is hard enough without village gossip, ghost-shy workmen, and curious neighbor children to contend with. Architect Thomas Warwick doesn't need any more complications, and it doesn't get more complicated than being trapped inside his cellar with the bewitching governess next door. Battling a blazing attraction neither expected, Thomas and Elizabeth must learn to trust in each other. But can 2 hearts with so many scars become a match made in moonlight? Or will the Abbey's haunted past threaten a love that's just begun? It sounded interesting. I will definitely download that. The next one, the cover was like kind of like giving me these spooky vibes. So it's Chastity Bowlin. It says When the Night Closes In, another novella. So it says Tess Parker has traveled far from London and the Darrow School to accept a position as companion to a frail elderly woman. But Knightley House is not at all what she anticipated, and her less than warm welcome by the master of the house, Maximilian Knightley, the Earl of Finmore, leaves her questioning that decision. Immediately becomes apparent that there is more going on at Knightley House than meets the eye. Secrets, unseen threats, and a chilling presence that leaves her both frightened and determined to discover the truth. Maxim, I don't know why they go by Maxim, it should be maybe Max. Maxim resisted his grandmother's wishes for a companion, not because he doubted her need of one, but because inviting strangers into Knightley House never went well. But the moment he meets Tess Parker, he knows she's not the sort to run screaming into the night. Unreasonably and unwisely drawn to her, they are caught in a compromising situation that prompts him to propose. Sounded interesting. Another one, the cover really got me. It's interesting, especially with like the person in the back. It's like kind of like spooky, creepy character. So we got Highland Outcast Elizabeth Rose. Highland Ghost. Again, I think this is part of like the same type of like anthology. The cover got me. I love it. It's really pretty. So it says Caitlin Mackenzie must marry Ian McBain to make an alliance between the clans. She's not happy about marrying a man she's never met. She's even more upset to have heard rumors that Gowrie Castle, where they will be living, is haunted by not one but 2 ghosts. It says the McBain curse has everything to do with the ghosts, Ian's ancestors, and now him, since he is the eldest son. And if Caitlin marries the man, she is pulled into the drama along with him, with no guarantee that she won't lose her life. But to break the betrothal would mean war between the clans. The next one was Eve Silver. This one definitely gave me like gothic romance vibes just based on the cover. So we got Dark Desires. So it says, betrayed by those she trusted, penniless and alone, Darcy Finch is forced to accept a position that no one else dares, as the assistant to dangerously attractive Dr. Damien Cole. Ignoring the whispered warnings and rumors that he's a man to fear, she takes her position at his eerie estate, where she quickly discovers that nothing is as it seems, least of all her handsome and brooding employer. As Darcy struggles with her fierce attraction to Damien, she must also deal with the blood, the disappearances, and the murders. With her options dwindling and time running out, Darcy must rely on her instincts as she confronts the man she is falling in love with. Is he an innocent and misunderstood man, or a remorseless killer who prowls the East End streets? Again, it sounded interesting. The next one was Captive Bride. This is by Catherine Ashe. So this one here says, a dark castle, a handsome lord, and a wicked ghost. When B. Sinclair's scapegrace brother begs her help to rescue a maiden from a haunted castle, she seizes the chance for adventure. If only Lord Peter Tip Chariot didn't insist on coming along. How can she maintain a clear head in the face of danger when Tip is so utterly deliciously distracting? Then an alluring ghost makes B a shocking offer, and he won't take no for an answer. What more could a lady desire? Tip Chariot has loved B forever, and he's determined to have her no matter how scandalous his past. But a cursed specter has claimed B as his bride, and Tip must save her from eternal darkness before All Hallows Eve. In the race to capture the heart of one daring lady, it's every man and ghost for himself. I have a couple of other Catherine Ashe books that I ended up buying. I need to read those, but that one there sounded really interesting to me. So I think I'm definitely going to put that on my list to buy when I want to do like another book haul again. This one here, not sure if I'm be into it, but lately a lot of Why Choose has been like super popular. So if you were into that, I personally am not, but it sounded interesting. So this one's here is Chloe Parker. It says In Her Thrall. It's a gothic horror romance. It says, for hundreds of years, the Van Helsing family has searched for the creature Dracula, a demon of the night that stalks the shadows for hapless prey. Freshly returned from service in the Great War, Van Helsing heir Jonathan Wakefield finds himself in the English countryside on a hunch that the creature has taken a new form, the Lady of Harker Heights, Bianca Ivyshade. Each year, on All Hallows Eve, Bianca hosts an extravagant ball, and Jonathan has landed an invitation. He brings with him 2 other vampire hunters and his Great War compatriots, shy scientist Marcus Ryder and charming occultist Edward Shelley. When a storm confines the guests to the manor for the night, Jonathan, Marcus, and Edward find themselves irresistibly drawn to the beautiful Bianca, and they soon learn that there are secrets hidden at Harker Heights, and perhaps even a greater evil than the vampire herself. Will the men escape with their lives, or will they fall under the vampire's thrall? So it says it's a male, female, standalone paranormal romance featuring powerful heroine and a group of passionate men straight out of a penny. So, like I said, I'm not really into that type of trope, but I know there's other people who are. So if you're looking for, one woman, several guys in a more spooky type of setting, there you go. So the next one is Kathleen Ayres, The Haunting of Rose Abbey. So it says, Miss Edwina Collins, impoverished spinster, has no choice but to seek employment after the death of her father. Stubbornly refusing to take charity from her cousin, Lord Southwell, she applies for the position of secretary at Rose Abbey, a remote estate rumored to be haunted. Edwina doesn't believe in ghosts, despite the horrible tales she hears, or the number of secretaries that have fled the position before her. Lord Bascombe has lost a half-dozen secretaries, all too terrified to remain at Rose Abbey. On the recommendation of Lord Southwell, he offers the position to Edwin Collins, only to find Edwina Collins on his doorstep instead. Soon, Edwina has more to worry over than tales of a ghost. She and Bascom are unexpectedly fiercely attracted to each other. So the last one I found is by Catherine Levesque, I think it's pronounced, The Phantom Bride. It's a medieval romance. So it says a young knight is looking for a port in a terrible storm. This one's interesting. Coming upon the ruins of a once grand castle, he seeks shelter. He is admitted by a pale young woman by the name of Rosamund, who feeds the knight and subsequently seduces him. The knight spends the evening locked in the arms of a woman who sends fire coursing through his veins with a mere touch. However, Lady Rosamund disappears in the morning, leaving the knight to continue along his way alone. When he comes to rest at a tavern for the night, a chatty serving wench seeks to entertain him by telling him the legend of a ghostly lady who seduces men and collects their souls for a pact she made with the devil. Realizing he has fallen into the trap of the ghost the locals call the Soul Collector, the knight makes an attempt to escape, but Lady Rosamund is coming for him, and the devil wants his due. It sounded interesting. So yeah, that's what I found so far. I didn't find like a ton of historical romances, but I pretty much I looked up on Amazon and just kind of typed in Halloween historical romances, romance novels, and that was pretty much what I found. Like I said, I found a lot of contemporaries or Why Choose, or other stories that kind of sounded just really weird. So I wasn't really interested in them. So I decided to look up the historical ones, and those ones sounded a little more interesting, especially with a few of them at least being on a novella size, so it's you can kind of get through it pretty quick. But yeah, that's pretty much it that I found here. Do any of these sound interesting? Let me know down below. There were some that were Kindle Unlimited, and then there were other ones that you had to purchase, but I don't think they cost that much to purchase. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one here. Have yourself a good day. Take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and I will see you all on the next video. All right, bye.